So now I would request the next team, that is SA11 from School of Architecture, Reva University, Mavrish Kumar, Bharat Kumar S, Melvin P. Harrison, and Onkon Ghosh to start their presentation. I hope they are ready. Your time starts now, so kindly start your presentation.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. Sorry for the inconvenience. I'll be sharing the slide right now. Yeah. So, Mavish, would you like to?
Yes. 1 second. Hello, everybody. I hope I'm audible. Good morning. I'd like to start by introducing myself. I'm Mehvish, and directly jump into Rangina Jivana. Next, please. So, what better way to see a rather monotonous building in a new light? The idea itself was to combine the value of a hospital with the character of the city itself. I say that with respect to the research that brought us to believe that the very essence of the city lies in its vibrance. And when I say that, and you can look at the presentation and the pictures on the left, that Rajkot itself is known for its color. With everything that they have, even the locals themselves, they call Rajkot as Rangilu Rajkot. It's a term that the locals use, and also Chitra Nagari, which means city of paintings. And we found out that that this is what Rajkot wants. This is the essence that it wants itself to be known as. And it doesn't consider the paintings on the walls as vandalism, but rather invites it. And it can be seen throughout their culture of dance with respect to their colorful clothes and the geometric patterns and the variety in the color palettes in everything that they do. Next.
So coming to the strategy, so we were thinking how to make a hospital more from monotonous to a more livelier place, so that people don't go all gloomy and dull there. So what we try to do, we try to incorporate the vibrancy into the hospital. So that's where the first this four materials like stained glass, colored steel, and prefabricated slabs and the steel bars play a role in our building. So the stained glass, what it does is we have only used this stained glass in the lobby area where most of the people are waiting and all. So yeah, in Rajkot, throughout the day we receive a lot of sunlight. Okay, so what happens now? As the sunlight, as the sun travels, we get a dynamic play in the of light and shadow through those facades. So as you can see in the image on the left, we have tried to illustrate what we are trying to get in the lobby area. So that is how we have achieved it, like vibrancy through the glass panes. And coming to the next material, which is the colored steel. So colored steel, we have used it on the exterior of the building to add vibrancy to our design. So to it imbibes a character and texture to the building. And the next one is the prefabricated slabs. The prefabricated slabs is used as a neutral palette. So if everything is colorful, it will be very it will hurt your eyes basically. So what we have tried to incorporate neutral palette so that the vibrancy is more natural and more it feels good when we look at it. And the steel bars, it's also a neutral palette, but as well as it adds a texture to it, like texture to the whole build.
Our master plan and how our site is located. On the left side, you can see the entirety of the Ames site, and the red rectangle is where we position our site. I'll continue. Yes. So our site is facing the water body, and as you can see, our site was pretty barren apart from like a few vegetational grounds like here and there, but mostly it was barren. So we chose the site in a way that it would face the water body, and this is what we came up with. Our hospital is in the middle, and we've provided public parking, staff parking, and a different entrance for the ambulance, as well as a different exit for it, so that it would have like a fast track lane for the ambulance. And this is actually, and next.
Oh, good morning, everyone. My name is Melvin, and I'll be talking about the plans. So, starting from the basement plan, we have four main cores, and then on the left side we have the morgues and the storage units. On the lower side, we have the sanitation units, and on the right side we have the complete medical storage, inlet and outlet units. And then coming to the ground floor, we have on the left side we have the emergency units, which has the emergency OTs and the people coming in from the fast lane. And then on the right side of the building we have the doctor's consultation and the labs which are required for the hospital. And coming to the first floor, we have the OTs. 80 OTs from the left, and then goes towards the wards and the therapeutic areas. Okay. So on the maintenance floor, we try to provide most of the services. So like the kitchen, the laundry, and MEP services. And on the and then we have a typical floor plan where we have a room. Each room has two modules, 2 to 3 bed modules in each. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so our typical floor plans till third and fourth floor will continue as wards, and on the last floor it's going to be as a staff quarters. So that's how the typical floor plan works. And then, as you can see, there's a view of the building itself on the right. And this is a very typical section that we've cut horizontally and vertically to understand our spatial layouts of a building itself, of how we have distributed our system. So as you can see in the horizontal section, that there are two voids that are present over there, which acts as the courtyards to bring in the vibrance into the building itself. Because when you're in a hospital, you wouldn't want to be enclosed by just four walls, and you would like to have a good view, which will also psychologically impact the patients positively. So we thought about that, and we tried to provide as many cutouts as possible and to give a bold impression to the building itself, and to make a positive impact on the patient's mind. Next, the views of the building itself. So we have given a view of the facade treatment. We have given a view of the hanging gardens that are provided in the courtyards, the cutouts that we've given in the building. We've given a view of the lobby area, and we've given a view of the OT itself. The OTs usually we see that there are very plain operation theaters everywhere, but to include a little bit of easing colors would help the patients relax as well. So next coming are the structural details of the building, which is very conceptual, of course. So on the left, we have given the facade joinery details of the trellis that we provided, and they are yeah. So and on the top, as you can see, this try to inculcate a different use of a column, where we try to bring in a modular system into use, so that it could help us in reaching the 100-day construction timeline. So as you can see, its concept is brought up from a man lifting the weights. So similarly, the same way the concept has evolved, and as you can see in the sketches in the drawing, we have tried to bring this concept to reality. And here are another few joinery details that we've given in an exploded view to understand a little bit better how it works on the inside. So the column to beam joinery and the trellis joinery is also provided over here. And here on the bottom, we've given for better understanding how our modules work. So we have given a view of our OT module and a ward module. And so the ward module will vary from 2 to 3 beds, depending on the emergency, depending on the needs. And the wall to floor details, a very typical detail on of how every floor is going to be following the same layout. Yeah, thank you. This is it for the presentation. We would like to take you to a walkthrough now. Just thank you.
Thank you, team SA1111. So I would now request our jury members to ask questions as you wish. So I would request Ma'am Suparna Dasgupta to start the questioning.
Mehvish and Bharat Kumar and team, I like the idea of your bringing color into the hospital. Like it will be vibrant and you want to make the ambience like that. Okay, fine. So you have made those colors, you've made those members with stained glass, is it?
Yes.
Which are you talking about the trellis itself or the glass?
No, the colored members.
No, that's not glass. That's actually stainless steel, which is colored.
That's what I wanted to know. That's it. Okay. So, and where have you have mentioned some use of stained glass?
Yes,
Did you?
yes.
Where have you used that?
That's only in the lobbies because we thought that when a person or any patient enters, I feel like, there's usually like a very like frustrated and it's like not really a nice vibe when you enter like a hospital. And also you don't want to like put it in other places where the patients are because that might not be very good. So this is only just for lobby areas where there'll be visitors and stuff to just like help with the ambience that they will feel when they enter this building. These are just in the public spaces that we provided these classes.
Yes, that is there. So you have used steel structures In facade you have used?
Yes.
Basically this, all around the facade you have used steel, right?
Yes.
In any landscaped areas have you thought of?
No, we've only because it was Rajkot, and honestly, the weather of Rajkot is pretty hot. So we kind of try to go very like green with the landscape so that there's a lot of trees surrounding our building. So that would like help with, the heat.
The
Okay.
microplan.
So can you go to the planning slide once?
Alright, please.
Plannings, the plans once?
Yes, ma'am. Just a second.
Let me ask you in this slide, like what material have you thought of over floor? You have used the MS structure and then you are putting a panel on top of that. So what material have you thought of?
So for the flooring, we thought we'll give epoxy paint flooring so that it's more hygienic and in a way.
I did not get it. Epoxy, okay, but what I'm saying is what is the material?
Like the floor plate is actually made of you have one layer of uh, concrete and
Yeah.
steel, and then on top you have your floor plate coming in.
So our floor plates are embedded with the beams themselves. So it acts as a module. So it's a 15-meter by 10-meter
10 meter
module, which has flooring, all of it prefabricated and ready to be set on site. So whatever materials that we'll be using for a hospital, very sensitive materials like epoxy flooring, or sheath.
Okay, now let me go to the plan once.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you have tried to create courtyards, maybe all around the building.
Yes,
Fine. So what is the altogether height of your building?
30.
ma'am.
29.9 meters now.
Okay. So and how many floors you have given? I think
plus
five.
Yeah. G+5.
Yes, ma'am.
8+5.
Each floor plate is each floor height is around 5 meters.
4.5, I think. I have
0.5 meters.
4.5.
Yes, ma'am.
So fine. So it is a linear kind of plan. Where is your ICU?
Our ICU is in number 19. So this whole thing is the ICU ward department.
Okay. So how much FAR have you consumed?
Uh,
Have you calculated?
yes, ma'am. 2.
And your ground coverage?
A ground coverage is exactly 40%.
Okay. Fine. So, I think it's a linear kind of planning, and all ventilations are fine. All rooms are getting ventilation. That way, it is all right. But I feel some sort of landscape, as you are giving so much of importance in the facades to bring in colors. So also around that landscape, if you could have focused on also, in a planning. So as you created courtyard, so that would have been nice. Just a suggestion, like you have not shown anything.
Yes.
Automatically those would come. So it could have accentuated your thoughts. Thank you, um, Mahesh and Bharat Kumar and team. Nice presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Dr. Deshmukh now.
Sir.
Yeah. Bharat, Melvin, and Meush. Uh, it's a good work that you have done. Very vibrant design, very colorful. And if you look at the plan, it's quite an open plan with lot of space for ventilation, lot of space for natural lighting, a good size of courtyards. So these are some of the plus points. Now, coming to your basement, you have kept the morgue there. I think I have little bit of observation on that. Morgue in the basement is not a very fine idea, right? So taking the body there and then taking out the body from there, because finally the body has to come to the ground floor for getting into the vehicle.
Not
So,
really, sir,
little-
because what we are trying to do over here is try to give access in the basement level itself, so that they can collect the body. So if you can see over
Yeah,
here,
is that there in your master plan?
yes, sir.
yes, sir. It's there.
Because it was not very clear to me. So can we go to the master plan and just check that?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Like there's this fast track lane that is running around. So in the back part where the mouse cursor is right now, that is where the morgue's entry will be, like entry and exit will be. So that is the lane from where the whole like
So the road
transporting thing will
slopes
happen.
down that side, back side,
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
yeah, yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Now another thing is that it's very nice to have very vibrant colors, which you have derived from the attitude of the people, the culture of the people, their colorful dress, and from there probably you have taken the inspiration. But looking at this heavily colorful facade, uh, I don't know, Miss. It should not be mistaken as an entertainment building. It should be very clearly conveyed the message that it's a COVID center. So that is where probably I have a confusion in my mind. You might tell me a little more on that. So that's one aspect that I just wanted to make it clear. Another thing is that your plus point is the trellis work. The trellis work uh, in terms of detailing from the elevation, I think there is a direct jump to the details. In between, I think had you put the wall details, the wall section, as to how the trellis work has been arranged, how it has been put one over the other, how the final, the, the, the top trellis work is attached to the wall, all those things are missing. Directly it comes to the detail. So that is where the confusion comes, and that is where probably one of the jury member asked you about whether it is a stained glass or whether it is colorful trellis work and all those things. So I think had you put that one more detail in between the detail of fixing and the section that you have drawn, if you have taken the section, blown it up and taken only the wall section of that side, I think the things would have been much more clear. So these are some of my observations. So you can explain about the colorfulness.
Um, so our main idea was to break from this monotony of thinking about how hospitals are supposed to be thought of. So usually whenever we think of a hospital, it's just boring. It's dead. It's like you see a white building and you're like, okay, we know it's a hospital. So no, as time passes by, I think like what we thought of, we need to change the concept of how a hospital should be looked at. So it's not like what we thought. It shouldn't be wrong to think of hospital to be colorful, to ease a person when they're entering. Because okay, like if we're a patient and we're psychologically disturbed and we look at the building, we'd be even more scared to go inside. Like, okay, it's we don't know what's going to happen in there. You're very scared. But when you give something as vibrant as this on the outside, and try to give a more open plan, and all of this combined together would probably act positively, psychologically speaking, looking at it, and aesthetically uh, try to connect to the people of Rajkot as much, with their culture itself, with how they are as a person, their very essence of Gujarat. We try to bring in over there.
Yeah, that's perfectly okay. No, I agree with your concept. that it is connected with the culture, it is connected with the colorfulness of the clothes. That analogy is very well taken. Only thing is that if you are trying to bring in that vibrantness, heavy colorfulness into this building, which maybe, that's what is my guess, which may be mistaken as an entertainment building, then what would be the actual entertainment building when you get an opportunity to design it? At what level you will take it further? That is what I was wondering about.
Depends on the client, I guess. Really depends on how they take it. So, yeah, I think there
Yeah,
are no
it
limits.
has to be 10 steps forward, no?
Yeah.
The actual entertainment building. So what is
Absolutely.
left for the entertainment building to have as a character?
There's a lot more yet to see. I'm pretty sure we can.
This is just a thought, okay? Don't take
Yes,
it
sir.
otherwise.
No,
All right.
no.
Okay, thank you very much, Melvin.
Thank
And
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would ask the students to note these points because the juries who are here are all quite famous people, not only in India. A little bit of CV of Dr. Deshmukh. He has done his BArch from VNIT Nagpur, MArch from IIT Roorkee, Masters from IIT Roorkee, and PhD from Manipal University in the area of earthquake risk management. He has traveled widely, Faculty of Architecture and Urbanism, University of Chile, South America, Department of Architecture and Landscape Architecture, North Dakota State University, USA, Department of Architecture, Faculty of Environmental Design and Management, University of uh, IFE or LFE, sir, I couldn't understand.
Yeah, Ife. It is called Ife.
IFE, okay, IFE, Nigeria. So in India, he was associated with Manipal University and rose to the position of the Dean, Faculty of Architecture. He became director at the Symbiosis International University, Pune, director at the Mangalayatam University, Aligarh, and thereafter director with Modi University of Science and Technology for Women in Rajasthan. At present, he is the Professor Design Chair with D.Y. Patil University School of Architecture, MB, Pune, India. He is associated also with us, with INSTAT, for the last 20 years. He is a Paul Harris Fellow, also a recipient of the prestigious Fulbright Fellowship during 2005 and became a national professor of the Indian Society for Technical Education, ISTE, in 2006. He has a YouTube channel with the name of Ravindra Sir Deshmukh. So this is what I can say in short of Dr. Deshmukh. So hearing from him and learning from him is always an asset. So I would request the students to take his advices in the proper senses and go on with your architectural studies. So I would now request Dr. Shorkar from IIEST to have his questions and answer sessions with the students.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So participants, I really liked the style of planning because it is an open and ribbon development with lot of external elements coming into it. Can I show the plan, please?
Yes.
Just explain in 2-3 sentences the division of the patients. Patients are of different status. So from the light infection to the very deep and continuing infection scale. So where these lightly infected patients and where the long staying deeply infected patients are staying in your campus. Have you differentiated the species between these kind of grade of infection?
Not exactly, sir, because what we have thought of is two basic things. So one is inpatient, one is outpatient. So the outpatients, all the activities of outpatients will be happening on the ground floor itself. So we have our pathology labs and our radiology labs are right on the ground floor. We have our emergency, unit on the left. That's number 7, as it's noted over there.
Okay, I understand. Then kindly show the flow of a patient in emergency.
Yes, sir. So once there's a drop.
Which one is that? Yes.
Over here, as we can see, on the ground floor on the left side, my mouse is standing at the entrance.
Understood.
Bharat, show them from the master plan. It will be easier to understand how it's handled.
Yeah. So our ambulance is traveling this way. It drops off the patients over here, and we enter the building over here. So the same thing I'm going to be continuing in the floor plan.
Yes.
Yeah. Once we enter from here, this is our emergency OT presentation.
Now, just here, I understand everything. Just tell me one data. What is your calculated rate of footfall? The footfall. I mean, in 1 hour, how many patients you are going to take? In case of peak, because there are the problem is with the COVID hospital is the surge. So how you are and expandability, surge and expandability is should be the main feature of a COVID hospital. So how you are going to tackle the surge? So what is your maximum capacity per hour? Just tell any figure, no problem. Then okay, 10 or 5, maybe 20. So because patients starts coming in one after another, as we have seen in Italy, China, these places. So just give a figure, and whether you have thought of about the surge and like that.
Sir, so basically we actually designed for a post-pandemic situation. We didn't, we were thinking that this hospital is going to
I understand.
used during the, it can be converted to a pandemic situation. So as a normal hospital, we
So
consider
you designed it as a normal hospital.
like a normal hospital. We thought about around
It's more expandable. So since it's footfall is like 5.
around 500-ish.
No, but your design brief says that it should be a COVID hospital, dedicated COVID hospital. That's why our main theme was to complete the construction within 100 days, and the material like steel has to be used. And now you are saying that you deviated from the scheme. I mean, you are doing it as a post-COVID hospital. I mean, some post-pandemic hospital. You are saying that right now.
Yes, sir. So what we mean by that is we don't know exactly what kind of pandemic may hit us. It may be, what do you say, something small or something very big, and we cannot, interpret what the surge could be, to be honest, from our side. And since this is a modular construction and something that could be built within a short amount of time, we are not really focusing on COVID as of such. So if it's
Yes,
post, it could be.
okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my question is over. Thank you.
I would request Mr. Bhattacharya if he has a question.
We have already discussed for a few times, so I would be very quick. Color is really one thing which stuck. It is a novel idea, but with a question mark for hospital, definitely. I have only 2 questions. Purely from structural point of view, you had a very nice novel idea for the columns. Will they be visible, or will they be ultimately covered with wall panels, etc.? The man lifting, that sort of idea, will it be visible to the people?
To the internal part of the building, it will be visible, sir. Like the external part is going to be covered.
The internal, but then okay. And there remains a small question, because there would be partitions, there would be air conditioning, there would be things. So how much visibility, that remains a question. The that is what we stuck. But the idea of the column was a very novel thing. And I do have a very small suggestion on modularization or prefabrication. 15 meter by 10 meter size is slightly larger for handling. Just keep in mind that sort of size is slightly considered as a large. Normally, open deck trailers or wagons or whatever it, how you plan to, or even in if it is below, at site, if you are prefabricating, the lifting crane may be difficult. Just it is for suggestion. Keep in mind.
Yes, sir.
But a color is ultimately a novel idea, and the column concept of the column was also a novel idea. Good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. A little bit of Mr. Bhattacharya. He is a professional structural engineer, B in civil engineering and master's in structural engineering. Has 35 years of experience. Presently, he is working as AVP and head of delivery of TCE in their MMBU unit. He is working in TCE, a fellow and life member of the Institute of Engineers, a strategic offering over 3 decades of extensive experience in the entire gamut of structural engineering, comprehensive experience in imparting engineering consultation in with matrix organization required for project performance, civil, structural, utility, water, electrical, etc. He is a member of the BIS committee, CD7 and CD37, part of the standard writing members of steel and loading codes in India. And his CV goes on and on. So in short, this is what we can offer at this moment. So it's a great pleasure to hear from a structural engineer on the architectural points which you have to take care. So thank you, Mr. Bhattacharya, and thanks to the team SA11